Best money I spent. This helped me during the summer when I wanted to raise my prices. If you're thinking about it, do it. I bought the guide and it changed my life, y'all. Buy it. Best $35 I spent at a time. I still use this to frame my prices now, especially for the crystals and designs. I'm glad I purchased this when you first dropped it. Literally made it so simple to add my prices and make copies for my ladies. Thank you. Happy New Year. Beautiful. More so. Yes, Britt. Thank you to yours too. Get this. I just added the applicable tips to my website and definitely a huge deal of help to me and guests coming for service. Highly recommend. Thank you. Anna Cures by Annie. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I know you're like, I'm here for some Bling Ombre nails. Yes, you are, but also, shameless plug, I have to show you guys my pricing guide. I'm seeing a lot of questions. People need pricing help. You need help with laying down rules in your salon, your home business, whatever you may be doing. I have this guide. It's soft copy. You'll find out more information at the end of the video. You're going to have to get through a tutorial, and at the end of the video, we'll expand. But this is just a little preview of information and things that you can get. So stay tuned to the end of the video and see more details on how you can purchase. But what we're really here for are these nails. I did not forget. You know, somebody had to sponsor the video and I'm my own sponsor today. How about that? So help a real sponsor out. I'm sponsoring my own video with my pricing guide. So these nails are absolutely beautiful. I posted some months, these are some months old, and I posted on Instagram that I wanted to do a few Bling ombres like this in different colors. And I successfully did, I think about 4 or 5 different colors. And I recorded only, I think 2 or 3 for video. So I know for sure one more after this that's a different color scheme. And it's a little bit different overall. So it's not the exact same thing. Similar. But I'm sure you guys, there'll be different tips and tricks in that one. Okay, so let's start off this. This client came in with no nails. It was a new client, and this was supposed to be a one-time appointment. She currently is an existing client. She's reoccurring, so, you know, shout out to her. Thank you, girl. So I'm using the itty bitty bit from my Elegance, and I'm using this just to remove the cuticle from the nail plate. This client, like I said, she's a new client at this point in this video. I haven't done her nails, so any previous issues, damage status of her nails are nothing to do with me. But overall, they were actually pretty good. They weren't like real crazy. You could just see a little bit of some rings, but honestly, sometimes please don't. It's kind of hard to tell because sometimes if you're somebody who grows like a thicker cuticle, like that dead skin that grows on the nail plate is real thick, she does have a slight ring. But also a lot of it is just that difference between nail that was previously cleaned of that dead skin, and there's going to be a straight line if you have, you know, decent nail tech and you have thick cuticle and that new skin. So sometimes, I mean, she does have a little bit of some rings, but they're not as bad as they looked. So now I'm going in with a just crosscut bit just to remove shine from the entirety of the nail, and I'm using this buffy bit just to kind of flake off that dead skin on the actual eponychium, which we like to call the cuticle. The cuticle area would be probably the most appropriate, but we kind of just come to terms with calling it the wrong name. But technically we're working on the eponychium up there and the side walls and stuff like that. The cuticle is the dead skin that grows on the actual surface of the nail plate. So I'm just removing any flaked off skin, just kind of going back and forth on that and just helping push back that eponychium a little bit. And also flake that off, just kind of getting that buffed. And like I said, I'll go both ways. So at first I was going forward, which I'm right-handed, which means from right to left with the E-file. And I put it in reverse, and now I'm going in reverse, which means from left to right, since, again, I am right-handed. And just hitting that skin from different angles. Now, what I will do is if there's any, like, skin that just won't budge and it's dead and it's just long, I'll go ahead and clip that with the nippers and go back in with a bit like this. This, again, is the Buffy bit from my Elegance. But you can use like a round bit or something from somewhere else. It just needs to have that diamond texture that you see this bit has, which is essentially the metal version of like a sanding band or something like that. It just can be sanitized and reused multiple times. So I'm just working on this skin, just trying to get it together, get it nice. It's not going to be perfect, but it will be nice and together. And she had some little hangnails. I don't know if she clipped before she got there, but you can kind of see that. But we're working it out. We're working through it. And so I, of course, at the end of this service, will moisturize the client and everything. Her skin will continue to look drier throughout the process just because I spray with alcohol, I use acetone and nail cleansers, everything I can to dehydrate her nails and the skin around it, because we don't want any oils introduced to our nail surface. So the ash is here to last, at least to the end of the nail surface. So I used that same bit and I went in reverse just to continue to remove some of that cuticle. And then I applied some tips. These tips were stiletto shaped tips. I can't remember where they're from. They're either the like Elegance ones or just some ones that I had from Nail Supply Glamour for some years ago. Can't recall. So I'm sorry. But you can see a little more like my client, like I said, she does have some rings, but they weren't as bad as they appeared at first because of that dead skin that had grown on the nail plate. So this client wanted stiletto nails, and she wanted them relatively sharp. Now, these could be sharper and pointier. I know that. She absolutely enjoyed them, and she was pleased. I have, and I like to tell my client, girl, you think you want these sharp, pointy nails, and I'm going to do basically anything that, services I do offer. I'm not telling her I won't do it, but I like to give people like the real, especially if you haven't had them done in a while, you haven't had them long. I don't think she really wear them this long, so I wanted her to be like, girl, they're going to be longer and they're going to be pointy, and I don't even care. Even if they're not like literally sharp, a good solid almond will poke some holes through some leggings, some tights, some blankets. So a super sharp stiletto is just going to tear everything up, okay? So I just like to advise my clients, because you're going to be living life with these. And a part of my responsibility as a nail technician is, to ensure that you're getting your money's worth. And a part of that is ensuring that you can move through life. Because as soon as you're getting it caught on everything, every time you get it caught, whether it seems like something serious or not, it can cause strain to the nail and move it towards breaking and cracking. We don't want that. So I want to make sure you're aware of the responsibilities that come with long nails, and especially long stiletto nails. So we did a stiletto, not our sharpest stiletto, but here we are. So I use like Elegance Air Bond, like Elegance Tack, and Jimmy Gel, just an ideal pink, just as a base. Then I was determining which base glitter we wanted to use. I had a color in mind. I was just looking to see if there was any other one that kind of went, but I settled on Tour Guide from my Elegance. It's their glitter gel from, I believe, their recent fall collection, if I'm not mistaken. So I used a lint-free wipe and some nail cleanser. I think I used like Elegance Pro Cleanser. Then I'm applying the Air Bond, which is an air cured bonder. It literally cures with the moisture in the air. And I let that dry for about 15-20 seconds, just enough to do the other hand and open up my next bottle. And so after I applied that and let that air dry, I went ahead and applied like Elegance Tack. Now, Tack needs to be cured in the light. LED, I know for sure. Are we still doing UV lights? Why wouldn't it cure in UV light? I'm sure UV, but it does cure in the light. And I just like to apply that on the natural nail and also the tip, just to ensure great adhesion. That my Elegance Tack has a tiny bit of acetone in it, so it'll help kind of etch that plastic on that tip, which should always be ABS plastic, unless they have something newer, better, safer. But when you're buying tips around, make sure they say like ABS plastic. That's usually going to be the best, safe to use for this process, and a good quality that won't crack and shatter. So after I applied the Light Elegance Tack and I put in the light, I applied a little bit of Jimmy Gel. Now, this is Ideal Pink. It isn't the best color for her skin tone, but we're applying it very thin. We're just using it literally as a base gel. I could have used clear as well. Decided to use this one. It doesn't really, the color doesn't really stand out at all, honestly. So I just apply this to the natural nail and kind of blend it out on the tip a little bit. I like to apply this with a nice even surface. And it helps for me in my application right now. The reason I did it was just in case, again, we have the insurity of the pandemic. In case my client cannot make it back, they at least, because Jimmy Gel soaks off, they at least have a layer, the layer closest to the natural nail that is able to be soaked off. So at least that. So I'm using Cosmetic Pink Builder, again, from my Elegance. And I'm going to go ahead and apply our nail bed color. When I'm doing glitter ombres, I like to apply the nail bed color first and then the glitter. That's how I like to do it. There is a certain look, especially when you're applying like iridescent glitters that look like actually cute matte. You know, you can do it second, but I like the glitter to stand out and be completely sparkly. Again, unless it's an aesthetic thing, I apply nail bed color first. Otherwise, you're going to be applying this pink, blending it over pieces of glitter, which again sometimes could be what you're going for aesthetically, like a frosted glitter look. But depending on the actual glitter, it can start not looking like a smooth transition, especially if there's chunks and stuff. You can start getting caught behind one chunk and not the other. I don't know, it's just not my twist. So this is my approach. So I'm taking like always, doing my little slip layer of gel, which is a very thin layer of the gel. You see I'm just polishing it on like nail polish, getting as close to the skin as possible, but without touching it. We just want to stay on the actual nail. We removed all that cuticle and everything so we can apply this product right on the nail. You don't want to remove all that cuticle and clean that up and do that for 30, 40 minutes of your service just to apply it on the live skin and get oils and lifting. You don't want to do that, so only the nail. So we apply, again, that slip layer. We polish it on just regular and get as close as possible. And while it's wet, we take a bigger bead of that product, start at that cuticle area, and lightly dance it down, move it around. Now, different viscosities of gel are going to require different, movements and playtime. This is a thicker viscosity. It's a Light Elegance's Builder Gel, their thickest viscosity, actually. So it doesn't really self-level. I find if you heat it up a little bit, it moves, it slightly self-levels a little better. But not too much. So this takes a little time. This is sped up. The footage you're seeing now is sped up twice. It's 2 times the speed. So it looks a little aggressive and faster. It might actually look normal speed to you, but that's how delicate of a dance we're doing right now with these nails. So this is sped up 2 times. And so again, over and over again, we apply that like polish towards the cuticle area. And we do the same if we're doing the entirety of the nail. We're just doing the ombre. So I like to fade it around a little bit past that free edge of her natural nail, or that area where the tip was glued on. We want to make sure that is fully concealed and doesn't affect, our nail art at all. So I'm taking that bigger bead and dancing it down. Again, while that slip layer is wet, that slip layer just helps the bigger bead know where to go, where we can go, where we can't go. That's what that slip layer does. And you see in the middle of this nail, I had to pick up a bigger bead. I didn't pick up enough product. I had to pick up a bigger bead and keep going, which is absolutely fine. No problem. So I then just kind of blend it and fade it out towards, the free edge, past the free edge, once everything is concealed that I want to be concealed. And then I got it on the skin a little, wipe that off. We don't want to cure anything on the skin. And I'm switching hands. I'm going left hand, right hand, right hand, one nail on each hand. You could do a couple, but I usually like to switch hands just so I don't mess it up and touch the previous nail that isn't set. That's me. So I'm taking that glitter tour guide and I'm applying it at the tip, concentrated, and fading it out. Like literally fading the glitters out. So there's a concentration of like a whole bunch of glitters on the tip. And then we're moving on to less and less saturation till they're just like just a few little scattered ones. And you can determine your ombre. Like, it doesn't have to happen like, this is essentially kind of half and half of the nail. Like half of it's nail bed, half of it's glitter, and there's a fade in between those two. Well, we'll say that it's about half and half. The glitter kind of takes up a little more, but we'll say half and half. But you could do it, you know, just literally the tip with glitter. Like the pink or nail bed color, whatever it is, could be like 70-80% of the nail, and the glitter's just only on literally a little bit of the tip and faded up. So an ombre isn't exclusive to like this principle of just like a French with my air quotes, just kind of blend it a little. It can be all different things, you know what I mean? So just play around with aesthetic. But no matter what, I would think, and I don't like rules, there being rules to art, but I'm going to say in this aspect, one of the biggest things you want to ensure is that you go from more glitter to less glitter. So on that tip, we have it basically fully covered with glitter. And then I'm moving little individual pieces up just to become less and less and less. Once I get it where I like it, you go ahead and cure in the light. But you see I'm just moving those glitters. So I thought it needed some little pizzazz. So I used this Twinkle Flash Gel from Daily Charm, one of their charm gels, and it's called Enhancement. It's one of their reflective holographic gel polishes, and I absolutely love these, you guys. This one is actually sold out, don't hate me, but they have all different colors of ones. And I wanted to do this because reflective effect or not, the glitters and like the reflective gel polishes just look sparkly, like more sparkly. I don't know what it is. So I took a little bit of this and I really thought it brought out the bling, and then that holographic effect just was beautiful. But the reflective aspect is just a bonus, little bonus Jonas. So I just applied that and just mimicked the previous ombre I had. And I just applied it with its regular brush and kind of faded it out with the other brush I was using, which is the Light Elegance's gel polish brush. I think it's number 6. And so I'm just fading that on top of Tour Guide. Again, I think it adds pizzazz and something else. I don't know. We'll go with pizzazz. And it kind of brought my ombre up a little bit higher. I wasn't mad at it. It wasn't my best thing, but I wasn't mad at it. It worked out. These are super cute. These are super cute and eye-catching. And kind of, honestly, relatively simple, you know, as far as, you know, doing nails is concerned, doing nails in general. Not because I'm a nail tech, but I think there's a bit of a learning curve, and it could just be, you know, an intimidating process in general. But in the realm of doing nails and like impact compared to difficulty, I think these are pretty good. Like, they're relatively simple, but the impact, the amount that your client is going to love them, or yourself, the amount you or your client is going to love them is great. So I think it's a beautiful design. I always think it's great, you know, especially to have like a set that is relatively simple to do, but it's amazing and has a lot of impact, and you know, that's awesome. So why not? So do your little bling ombre set. Take these principles, do it how you want to, and tag me in it and tell me if you or your client don't think these are absolutely beautiful and relatively easy to do. So I'm taking Light Elegance's Cool Gel in clear, super clear gel. You guys already know, I think Builder Gel has supreme clarity compared to acrylic. No matter how good you apply acrylic, no matter how clear the acrylic is, a standard clear Builder Gel is going to be way more clear, which means your glitter is going to look way more beautiful. I get sad at my old self using acrylic when I find all these beautiful glitters. I still have a lot of beautiful acrylic glitters. When I see them and I put it on the nail, and it just doesn't look as pretty. Even if you have a beautiful application, like I said, beautiful product, it's just never as pretty as it can be. And gel really makes sure when you encapsulate your glitter, it's pretty much as pretty as it can be. So if nothing else, even if you're somebody who still uses acrylic and you're not comfortable with gel, get in touch with at least encapsulating your glitter acrylics in builder gel. Like, get comfortable with that. Experience that. And that's what got me, that's what I started doing. That's what turned me on to gel. Is I'm like, I'm tired of doing these cute glitter acrylics and they are like just slightly dull. I have no air bubbles. I have this amazing product. Everybody says it's one of the clearest, if not the clearest. And what? It's just not as holographic. It's not as sparkly. And I was like, you know what always looks cute is when these gel nail techs encapsulate glitter. I'm gonna get some glitter. And I think I started off with, I don't even know. But it just snowballed from there. And I just like, well, let me build the whole nail from it. Well, let me just always do it. Let me just only do it. So I definitely recommend at least trying encapsulation. So now this is where you leave your thumbs up if you didn't already. Is we have some shaping clips. They aren't the best. And they're a little bit difficult for me to include. I always say that. So go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Leave a little, what's our emoji today? We're doing diamonds because it's bling. So let's do a diamond or like a sparkly glitter emoji. You know that little one with like the 3 twinkles? I like that one. Or the diamond. I don't discriminate. So go ahead and leave that down below. And let's get it into the shaping. Shaping is hard for me to verbally teach you to do. It really is. But I thought at the very least I can include clips so you can see my approach. I always shape nails from this angle. I always have my clients hold their hand like this, palms facing up. It's just how I shape. And you see early in the video I didn't address it, but that's how I shape my nails. And that's how I apply some of my art designs, depending on what it is. Like a French, I'll apply like regularly, like how, you know, his palms facing down regular. But I always like to turn the hands palm facing up like this, palms up, to like check and make sure my French is balanced and even. Some bling designs, I like to flip the hand over once I get it there, just to make sure it's even, it's balanced, it's as centered as it can be. And that's how I like to shape the nails. And once I get the actual shape done, I'm going in and finish filing and actually shaping the surface of the nails. So I'm using this ceramic bit. It's a smooth top safety bit, and I'm going in and just making my nail how I want it to be. I want it to be flush towards the cuticle area. I said flush towards the cuticle area. Have me a little apex as we get towards the free edge, and then taper back down. And we're like, how thick should the nails be? You still want to function through life. You don't want to be too thin, too thick. I like to say, and it's hard to determine with stilettos, honestly. And once you've been doing nails for a while, you kind of get a feeling for it. But I know the general consensus is like a credit card's thickness on the tip. I am a credit card and like a half person or something. Sometimes a credit card and a half. That's just me. That's just a good little gauge to understand. So if you're working paper thin, thicken it up. And if you're like a whole, like, I don't even know what's that thick, super extra thick, go on, take it down a little bit. We want to be able to function. You're able to pick. It's hard to pick up, like, you know, we always know the cliche about picking up coins off the floor. You're gonna pick up nothing if your nails are like super thick. So go on and make that your goal between 1 to 1.5 credit cards thickness thick. Does that make, hopefully that makes sense. So after I use that bit, I'm going in with a crosscut bit. And this is just helping me go ahead and refine that cuticle area even more. I can kind of get that angle of that bit into the space between the living skin and the actual enhancement a little bit more to get that nice and flush. We don't want this big, thick lump of product at the cuticle area. We know these are fake, but we want them to look like they're kind of coming out of, you know, that of their skin, you know? You want it to kind of look like that. I mean, we all know it's fake, but we want it to look, you know, as good, as natural as possible, you know? So go ahead and get it nice and flush around the cuticle areas. And that'll also help with lifting. And it also helped, like, I touched the skin a little bit there, it got cured. So I'm using this bit just to kind of break that bond of the skin touching the product. We don't want that. That will cause lifting. It happens. It happens. Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's your client, sometimes it's both, y'all. But fix it. I don't care whose problem it is, who did it, fix it, or you will have lifting. So take you a skinny bit and go ahead and remove that product. We don't want it to happen because it can be a pain to fix, but if it happens, fix it. So after we get them shaped and finished filed and nice and flush and together, we go ahead and dust them off and clean them off with some, I like the Light Elegance nail cleanser. Just removes all the oils and we get it to a good place. So we're gonna start off, I like to, with this technique, I wanted to apply the very tip because it is a stiletto. The crystal at the tip is very important. We want to use our smallest crystal. I believe I had a size 3 in whatever mix I'm using of stones. And I wanted to apply that at the tip. That's my smallest crystal, and that's the only one that can fit there. Boom. I wanted to get that at the tip. What we don't want is any crystal hanging off. Please never hang your crystals off the edge of the nail. I don't care what shape they are, what length, what story you want to tell with them. I don't care. Do not hang your crystals off the nail. I don't care. I'm going to talk about you. I don't care. Don't do that. They're just going to come off. Unless you like concreted them on or Gorilla glued them on, which you should not be doing, they're going to come off. So don't do that. So I took some crystal gel. Boom. I applied it through the space that we want our crystals to be. And I left it wet. Then while it was still wet, I applied a no wipe top coat on that. This is something you're going to want to practice beforehand before you commit to this with a client or on yourself. Practice this because you want to literally apply top coat over the wet crystal gel and you don't want them to literally mix. And that is what you want to do. And this is going to be the easiest way to apply these crystals because after it's cured, that's it. It's top coated and sealed in, and that's it. Now, I've done this both ways. I've done this where I glued them all down. I glued the one at the tip down, and you can use like a regular nail glue, nail resin for that. Then, just to ensure that has like a chemical adhesion, because when you seal crystals with gel, that's a physical adhesion. The gel is literally holding onto the crystal, but it's not chemically adhered. So you want to make sure your crystals sink into that crystal glue without going on top of the actual facets of the crystal. It's a, I know I've said this before, this phrase, but I don't know a better one. It's a delicate dance to play. Please practice, but it's going to be your fastest way. And you're going to have great crystal longevity if you do this right. And again, it's going to be quick. If you don't do it this way, you're going to, and I think the other video I showed it, or I have before, depending on what I'm doing, if you apply each crystal with glue, which you can, you're going to have to seal around each crystal individually and with a little brush. And you're going to have to seal them good enough so that they don't catch on things. It can be done, and if you're more comfortable doing that way, go ahead and do it. Absolutely. But this is the process that I chose. And these bigger crystals, these little stars, I glued them on. I'm using the crystal katana glue. You can use, again, like another nail resin or nail glue. It's absolutely safe to use in this context. So that's what I chose to use. I ensured that it was completely dry. And then I'm going in and sealing around it again with my crystal gel glue. This is a sample product that I have. But I tell you guys all the time, Daily Charm, and you can use Tabitha 10. I didn't even tell you about the twinkle gels. Use code Tabitha and the number 10 at dailycharm.com. Look in the description bar also. But they have a great crystal gel. But you know, stay tuned, guys. But if you're looking for one in the meantime, in between time, that's a great one. Again, use code Tabitha and the number 10. So I sealed around these stars after I knew they were completely glued down, again, with our resin or regular nail glue or whatever. Then I used that same process. I applied that crystal glue, left it wet, applied a no wipe top coat on top of that wet crystal gel, and glided it over top. Don't mix it. Let's say the crystal gel is blue and your top coat is red. Do not make purple. Put red over blue. Please keep that in mind when you're applying that. Do not mix them. It will be weird and you'll have to end up top coating the whole nail all over again because some of it will be dull and weird because of the crystal gel and some of it will be shiny. It'll just practice. Okay? So I sped this up and it's the same process over and over again. And these nails are top coated and ready to go. So once you get them how you want them, I flash cure with the LED light as I'm doing it. Once I get it where I want it so it don't slide. These crystals can move a little bit. So that's, there's pros and cons to everything. But try this process out and see how you like it. Go ahead and stay to the end of the video if you want to see more about the pricing guide. Do you want to know how to price something like this? Stay tuned to the end and see. You can get all your information about how to price. And not only, again, these are soft copies. You can print them out, do what you want with them. Again, at the end of the video, you'll get more information. And I thank you guys for watching. But yeah, you want to know how to price this. You want to know about your appointment, guys. What do you do when somebody's tardy? What do you do if you're tardy as a nail tech? What do you do? What do you do when your client has won't stop touching or bringing kids? They're bringing food. They want to be loud on the phone. Set some boundaries, set some rules. We're already going through enough in this pandemic. It's already a lot to concern yourself with. Regular, everyday concerns. We need to have that nip that in the bud. So check it out. And don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. I really thank you guys for watching. Everything that's in this booklet, it's for $35. So initially, I used to have you guys email me in order to purchase, and then I would have you Cash App me or PayPal or what have you. I've streamlined that process. It became overwhelming to me. I was missing emails and everything like that. So now the documents are hosted on a website. You get an opportunity to download each document 3 times. So you have 3 opportunities to do so. But it's still in Microsoft and Excel format. Everything is the same. So the link will be down below in the description bar. You can pay via PayPal, or you can pay, if you don't have PayPal, it gives you an option to pay with a debit or credit card if you're interested. I know we're in the middle of the pandemic. A lot of you guys aren't taking clients. I'm not even currently taking clients. There is some very helpful information in this guide. And if you're in a place in a country, I wouldn't say this one, but if you're in a country where it's safe for you are taking clients, you have to understand everybody's circumstances aren't the same. So even if you're not, just being able to prepare for the moment when you open and get pricing up and some great information, this guide will hopefully be great for you. Soft copies of this guide. That means you're only going to be getting the documents in Excel and Microsoft Word. You can edit them how you feel. You can add beautiful colors, everything like that. It does not come with this cover sheet. You can make your own little cover sheet if you want to make it a booklet. You don't have to, or you can print these pages out big and hang them on your wall. It has things such as appointment reminders, information about, cancellation policies, tardiness, food, and everything like that. Feel free to type whatever you want to, or use this as a guideline, change the amounts, the time, whatever you want to edit and change. You can change the fonts, add some cute little pictures, a border, whatever you want to do, and however you want to display it. Or if you just want to have this just to email to clients when you obtain them, you can definitely do that. I also have information about client courtesy, about them running their fingers through their hair and things like that. Print this out on a big old poster board at your Kinko's, FedEx, whatever, and put it on your wall. But here's the good stuff that you've been waiting for. This is the pricing. So I have everything on enhancements. Again, if you want this, you are free to edit all these items, delete these lines out, change this price to whatever you want to change it to. Of course, you know, take this out, put your business name, whatever. So this has all my different pricing. Again, put your own pricing, or if you want to use this pricing as a guideline, absolutely you can. I'm not saying you need to charge this much. You could charge more, charge less. That's a whole nother conversation. So it just has, you know, natural nail services, removal service, Swarovski design. You know, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you can change these sections however you want to change them. And then I have just regular design add-ons, artwork, and everything like that. And then lastly, I have a page on keys to longer lasting nails. This is just tips and stuff to help you and your clients, you know, better understand how to make their nails last longer. Because if you haven't noticed, I like for my nails to last long and my clients' nails to last long as well. So again, however you want to do this, you can. If you want to print it out like I have it, I got it at like Office Depot. You tell them to laminate all the pages and then bind them. Mine actually broke a little bit, but it's okay. And yeah. Again, the link to purchase will be in the description bar down below, along with